here's Brody Brazil.
If you've got a great question or comment or contribution for this YouTube channel, I highly encourage you to call it in right now. The number is 8334-BRODY. It goes straight to voicemail. You leave a great message. I will respond to the very best ones in a future video.
Hey, Brody, it's the mad caller from the Philly area.
Love it.
First of all, can you change that music on your voicemail when it rings?
What?
I mean, you're not in your 20s anymore. You're in your 40s. How about a little classic rock? That would serve your constituents well here on the YouTube.
Fair point.
Anyway, I want you to talk about Nashville as an expansion site. You had reported there's no stadium and there's no money for a stadium. So how is Manfred considering Nashville as one of the key spots for expansion? And by the way, the National League and the American League were institutions for over 100 years. Why get rid of them? You said, oh, there's no more National and American League. You're not a traditionalist if you succumb to that reasoning. And I'm not mad, Brody. I'm not mad.
Mad caller, I love it. Usually I encourage people to use their real names to kind of feel like I'm getting to know you on a personal level. But if you want to call in as that persona, and if you want to have great calls like that, Mad caller, I'm totally fine with that too. Let me point out one thing. I did the relocation video because Rob Manfred, to your point, he brought up expansion and relocation, and everybody started pointing the finger at Nashville and saying, well, they're definitely in the driver's seat here. But I'm not the one who really is saying there should be no more American and National League. I know I suggested that, but you have to take it from a deeper level. What I said was that there's no difference anymore between the American and National League. We've altered the regular season schedule format. Like back in the day, you know this, Mad caller, American and National League teams, they only faced each other in the World Series. Like pre-1997, there was no interleague. And then we had interleague, which I'm fine with, but then interleague evolved into playing every other team in each league at least once per season. So my point is, American and National League, it doesn't even matter anymore. And the biggest thing is there are no rule differences between the American and National League. And we can say, all right, there was a DH in the American League and pitchers hit in the National League. Even that, though, was one distinctive thing that separated these leagues. We don't even have that anymore. So I'm not the one saying we should split this up we should make this all one and we should get rid of the American and National League. What I'm saying is they've already kind of done that. I didn't do that. Baseball has done that. I would rather honestly still see pitchers hitting in the National League. I think it just makes the game more interesting. But the point is they've already done that. So my point is, what's the difference anymore? Why even have the leagues if we're not going to make them unique from each other? And your point is tradition. I get that to a certain extent. So that clarifies at least that topic. What was the main call about? Oh yeah, it was about Nashville. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. Rob Manfred at the Little League Classic game, he brings it up on the broadcast. He starts talking about, well, if we have expansion, then we're going to have realignment. And everybody starts talking about Nashville specifically. But you know, and I reported this late last year, December 2024, Nashville's Mayor Freddie O'Connell, he said this, quote, "It's very difficult to imagine that there is a future where the city can consider, quote, any public financing for a public entertainment facility whose primary usage would be sports." Now, Mayor Freddie O'Connell is not the only one to make this decision, but certainly he's in a place of power and influence as mayor of the city of Nashville. The county could also help. I suppose the state of Tennessee could also help. But Nashville is kind of tapped out to the point of, and we'll see on the next slide here, they've contributed more than $1 billion to help the Titans build their new stadium, new Nissan Stadium right across from the old one. And late last year, or was it early this year, within the last handful of months, they've also committed to helping the Preds out and Bridgestone Arena by giving them $650 million to upgrade that aging facility and give it a brand new, fresh life right there on Broadway. So the point made here by Mayor Freddie O'Connell back then, so this is me kind of just passing on the information, and I'll have some of my own thoughts about Nashville in just a second. But Mayor O'Connell back in December said a Major League Baseball team would quote, have the highest overall cost and probably the largest overall land needs. Like, they want to build the whole stadium. They want to build the ballpark village around it. Bridgestone Arena sits on a corner in downtown Nashville, and, new Nissan Stadium, luckily they had land right across the street from the old one. But basically what he's saying is the dollar amount and the land And everything that Nashville would have to do might just be too much right now for that city because of what they're already committed to. And speaking of that, new Nissan Stadium, $2.1 total billion. It, I think, just approached the halfway point of construction, so not ready, obviously, this season, but somewhere down the line it will be. $1.2 billion of public funding. Again, $650 million of upgrades to Bridgestone Arena. But going back to the point of even mentioning Nashville as one of the options, as one of the front runners, I mean, let's be clear. Nashville is saying, we're a great city, but we don't have much to help you out with. Major League Baseball loves these public-private partnerships. They love getting public subsidies and funding. Look at the Athletics' move to Las Vegas. That's kind of the main reason why a team was interested and allowed to unanimously voted on to approve relocation because, well, there's $380 million sitting in Southern Nevada. How about this? In Salt Lake City, Utah, the state has $900 million waiting for a Major League Baseball team. In Portland, Oregon, the state of Oregon has $800 million in something called a jock tax. I've made a video on that here on the channel. You should check that out. So those places have hundreds, if not hundreds of millions, if not close to $1 billion each waiting for them. Nashville doesn't really have that from a public sense right now, but baseball still touts it. They had winter meetings there a couple years ago. I was in Nashville for those winter meetings. I think that was late 2023. Everybody at that point figured out, hey, this is the future. Like, there is going to be a team here. As soon as Oakland gets squared away and Tampa gets squared away, they're going to expand. I don't know that Major League Baseball, and Manfred can talk about this as much as he wants, probably his goal to have expansion announced by the time he's done as commissioner at the end of this decade. We still have a CBA to figure out, a likely work stoppage that's going to happen. So as much as we're touting Nashville and putting them in the driver's seat, are they really? Or did baseball take too long with Nashville? Did baseball talk about Nashville for too many years and not have any action with Nashville? And then Nashville said, all right, well, the Preds are here. We're going to give them that money. And the Titans need this money, so we're going to work that out for them. Nashville doesn't have anything left. Did baseball take too long to commit to Nashville? Did they just tout them and not commit to them? And I will say this, whether it's the White Sox and their ownership currently with Jerry Reinsdorf or any other team, a lot of franchises are always going to point the finger at Nashville and say, well, maybe we'll check them out. Kind of like what the A's did with Las Vegas and ultimately decided that that was the move they wanted to make and go there. Nashville is trendy. Nashville has a football team. Nashville has a hockey team. A lot of people will come up with this rumor that the Grizzlies are going to move from Memphis to Nashville, which I've also made a video on and I certainly don't believe, but that's the whole point. Nashville is trendy. You could say Nashville is sexy. And so it's always going to be that thing that floats out there. It's going to be used as bait, at least. Now, I'm not saying if you live in Nashville and you want a baseball team, if you're the Nashville Stars, I'm not saying that's not going to happen. I'm not saying this is an impossible thing. I'm just saying that everybody's going to say, well, we'll go to Nashville. We'll consider Nashville. Nashville's the front runner, even if it's not. I say here used as bait. You could say used as leverage. At the very least, at the most, some team is eventually going to expand to Nashville or move to Nashville. But as of right now, I feel like it's definitely a leverage point of conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Maybe let me know what you think about the Mad Caller, too, in the comment section. Thumbs up down there helps me, this video, and this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back here on the channel next time.